Now, welcome to a special Star Wars Celebration edition of News from Naboo. This will be a Day 1 roundup, even though Day 2 is going on probably as you're watching this.
Right, but this is what we noted from Day 1 of importance, interesting information, facts, tidbits, and Thor Ramble. I've kind of got this divided into sections based on what they were talking about. If you're wondering how this is, you can skip around in the chapter titles if you're looking for specific topics.
A lot of interesting news yesterday.
We're going to start with talking about Andor.
Interesting.
Because it was the first thing that they
fair
talked
enough.
about. I thought it was great. Andy Serkis, when he went up on stage, he looked at the audience and yelled, "On program!"
How many people do you think are...
Everyone.
Okay.
Everyone probably put their arms up. behind your head.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Okay.
Unless they're a square. Jeez. Gilroy describes Andor Season 2 as the second half of the story.
Kind of makes sense.
Yep. According to the cast and crew, Andor Season 2 is halfway through filming and will wrap shooting in August.
Wow. Wait a minute. Halfway through filming, wrapping in August. How long is filming?
They're
Dang.
going. Well, we know what they started at Thanksgiving-ish last year.
Wow.
They're doing it.
I feel like most of the time it's like, yeah, we started last week, we'll be wrapping in a day or two. That's
But
what you get for doing it on the old volume.
What is interesting to note is Andy Serkis, who we know as Kino Loy, he was on stage and confirmed he's reprising his role in Season
As
2.
Snoke?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Why would he do that, though? I wanted to
don't
be
know.
surprised. It's going to bring a tear to my eye.
You won't remember by then.
Oh, I'll remember. I'll think about him every day until I see him again.
On the progress of Season 2, Gilroy said, "If you know your ending, it really helps. We know exactly where we're going. You know what you have to deliver emotionally and what the story has to do. It's a decision born of survival, but it's good for us creatively." Andor will return late summer 2024. The first footage of Andor Season 2 was shown to the crowd, which...
And to those who can find it on the internet.
Yeah, I have a few clips I'm sure I'll play that are pictures. I'm not going to do clips.
Little hint if you're looking for it. Might want to check Reddit.
Yeah. Most of the ones on Reddit are missing like the last little bits of the... like they have like a portion but not the whole thing, and it's got
Yeah, they're
lovely
all like
shaky cam.
1 minute long, and
Yeah.
they cut off the end of all of the
That's
trailers
probably
released.
how they somehow managed to avoid the copyrights.
I don't know,
that
something.
are plaguing everything else. But I do have a few clips that I'm sure I've been using. On the celebration stage, Kyle Soller was asked about whether or not there was a moment between Cyril Karn and Deidre Merrill at the end of Season 1.
There was.
He said, "There is so much Cyril wants from Deidre. She represents a lot to him. She wants to be in the ISB. He's got all the suits with all the tailoring." Go followed that up with, "And then she has to thank him, and she doesn't really want to." I think Tony even added that line about, "I suppose I should thank you," and then he says, "You don't have to," and she's like, "Oh, thank God." But she jokingly says, "That was our 7 minutes in heaven," which is what we called that scene. That implies something a little more, I think.
Does it?
More.
I think
They called it 7 minutes in heaven?
Well,
Come on. You know what that game was.
actually, I don't.
It's like when you would spin the bottle, you pick, you kind of pick somebody and you go into the closet for 7 minutes in heaven, aka winky face making out.
I know. I just wanted you to explain it.
You're horrible. Why do I do these with you?
I don't know. People wouldn't listen to you without me.
Next, they kind of shift focus to The Acolyte. Kennedy explains that 4 episodes of the series have been completed, and she was floored by the results, as if she'd say anything else.
Yeah, they were terrible. Don't watch this show.
The Acolyte was pitched to Lucasfilm as Frozen meets Kill Bill. I don't know what that really translates to. Let it go while I kill you? I'm not sure. The show is, of course, explored from the perspective of villains. Headland also cites things that inspired her, such as Kurosawa's The Hidden Fortress and
That
other
sounds
films.
familiar.
Surprise. The conflict is described as a spiritual war. The actor behind Chewbacca that's been helping around since 2015, Jonas. I'm not going to pretend I can say his last name today. It's late for me. He's playing a new Wookiee Jedi named Kel Naka, which isn't Baraka.
No, I thought it might be.
I want.
Well, he might have died, so we don't know what happened to him. I mean, he did die, but no one wants to believe it because we didn't, see it happen
Yeah.
in the book.
Well, the production of The Acolyte is expected to wrap up in May. And the audience got to see the first trailer.
And anybody who wants to find it on Reddit.
Plus, I have kind of a description for everybody. So if you want to know what happens at the end.
Or if you don't, I guess.
If you don't, go away and hit to the next thing.
Don't tell them to go away.
No, I can click to the next thing if they don't want to hear about a trailer that we aren't ever going to get to see. The footage begins with a group of Jedi younglings of various species being trained by a Jedi Master in High Republic-era white robes. That's our
Did you have any bling?
Squid Games
Gold?
Lee Jung-jae.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I seen it.
Yeah. The trailer shifts gears to a mysterious hooded figure who confronts Carrie Ann Moss's Jedi in a bar. It's a different kind of fight because they are doing like kung fu movie martial arts the whole time. No one pulls out a saber. There's some force blows and stuff in there though. Because they said that in the stuff that I read that Carrie Ann Moss's character is not going to really be using a lightsaber.
I know.
She doesn't want to.
I'm okay with that for the most part.
Fine.
We've talked about that.
The footage continues to show various High Republic era Jedi, including Daphne Keene and Charlie Bartnett's characters. There's also a Nemoidian who appears in the trailer, the same species, as Newt Gunray from the prequels.
Or Lot Dodd, if you prefer.
The standout image from the trailer is a shot of several Jedi lined up, igniting their sabers simultaneously, some of which were yellow blades. Ooh. The High Republic had all sorts of colors.
They got weird.
They had like pink and
Well, I don't
white.
remember there being pink, but there's white and there's wayfinders and...
Yeah.
I don't mean Wayfinder devices. I mean
No,
Wayfinder Jedi.
The Acolyte will air in 2024.
Okay.
Along with Andor.
It actually looked pretty good. The trailer looks pretty... I mean, it's grainy. Someone's, it's shaky. Like a head gets in the way.
Of course.
But it actually looks pretty good.
I'm excited about that. Next we move on to The Mandalorian. Favreau kind of explained that the story so far will culminate in the final 2 episodes of the season, which were both directed by Kawajima.
Isn't that how it's always supposed to go? Sorry. It's almost like he's heard some of the fans.
Kawajima clarifies that the finale of the 3rd season will tie everything in The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett up until this point together.
Boba's getting an episode. I hope he breaks through some glass or something and just takes the whole episode 7, even though I know that doesn't happen.
No, let's not do that, because I've heard that Moff Gideon's supposed to be in episode 7.
Spoilers!
You're spoilers.
No,
we know he's coming.
Well,
There's 2 episodes.
But...
Where do you think he's going to show up?
Well,
not until the last one? No.
Well, sorry if anybody's angry. You can blame Naboo.
Whatever.
But yes, Gideon is showing up. Though people have seen the episode.
Attendees did get an extended clip at that time of the next episode. And here's your little spoilers. It showcased the return of Coruscant. Luke Skywalker and Grand Admiral Thrawn were also both mentioned by name. And as everyone unfortunately on the internet knows, they screened the episode.
Which we're not going to talk about.
I'm not going to look for it because I want to watch the episode without hearing all the spoilers ahead of time. Why would I want that?
I had the little opening sneak peek spoiled, but I haven't.
I didn't find that either.
Well, I kind of stumbled upon it.
Well, I saw it, but I didn't want to see it.
And then I kept reading. It's like a car crash. You just can't look away once you start. Once you start a car crash, you know what I mean.
That's horrible. Let's move on to Skeleton Crew. We know straight off that Jude Law is going to be playing a Jedi or a Force-sensitive person of some nature.
Of course he is. Mm-hmm. Look at him.
And one of the kids is going to be an alien. He's the same species as Max Rebo.
I know. That was awesome.
It was. I was like, hey, alien in the main cast.
I know.
And it's a Max Rebo, which means his sweat will smell like vanilla.
Fun
fact for everybody.
You and your fun Star Wars facts.
Yeah, that is a fun fact. Max Rebo's sweat smells like vanilla, and if they don't make mention of it, I'm going to be really sad.
But does it taste like vanilla?
You're disgusting.
Am I?
Disgusting. Moving on. They do see a behind-the-scenes kind of clip, along with the first trailer. And I'm going to go over that. The trailer has several kids living in what kind of looks like a suburb. Yeah. One of the kids being the Max Rebo kid, which is cool. I'm going to call him...
Cool kid?
Rax Meebo.
Why does he have to be, related to Max Rebo?
He's not. He's a different last name. Meebo.
Oh, you just...
It's Rax Meebo. They're totally different.
I hope that is not his name by some stupid chance.
And then it's soon revealed that the kids have, run away from their parents. Ran away from home for some reason, and their parents want to find them. We don't have any reason or anything about why that's happening yet. The trailer does conclude with the kids trapped in a prison cell, rescued by a hooded figure who uses the Force to float a key over to them. And that's Jude Law. He's one of the... And one of the kids yells, "He's a Jedi!"
How come these
Oh,
kids
and-
know a Jedi? Freaking Din Djarin, no clue. This random kid in a cell somewhere in wild space. That's a Jedi.
Oh, and Vane from The Mandalorian
yeah.
is in it.
Go figure.
I already knew that.
Yeah. He was like, I'll get you next time. He flew away in that episode. Well, he didn't,
Oh,
you know.
wow. I was a little worried with the trailer. It reminded me way more of a Marvel project than a Star Wars project.
Yeah, it had a kind of a tone to it that was a little strange.
But it's
I mean, I'm
kids
hopeful,
and
sure.
stuff. Skeleton Crew will be releasing some point later this year.
We'll
Assumingly
see.
after Ahsoka's done. Hey, it said later this year.
Yeah. Bad Batch was like September too, right? Remember that?
You know, you're going to get punched when I'm
Well,
not recording. Next, we're moving on to Ahsoka. Ahsoka is already been hinted to have a second season.
Wow, Dave
Yeah.
Filoni giving a second season to his favorite character. I am stunned right now.
Of course, we also got the trailer, which we're not going
Yes.
to go into details here, but the trailer.
Trailer was awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was really. I don't
It was
know,
Rebel
yeah.
season 2 or 5. Sorry.
There was a lot going on with that trailer. It was really interesting, though we have like debates about Sabine's hair.
It's confusing.
Because she has long hair, and then you're like, wait a second, she's
Yeah.
not supposed to. And then she's like, oh, wait, there's a picture of her with the short hair.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming after she talks with Ahsoka, she cuts her hair, but...
And dyes it
I don't
and puts armor on. And I mean,
She's
some
got a lot
have
going on, I
said
guess.
that maybe it's a different time. Like, Ahsoka comes first of all and says, hey, I'm going to go looking for Thrawn. And then she takes off
Yeah,
without
she might
Sabine.
be like, hey, I'm going to be looking for him, but I'm going to go seek the Republic's help. Then she leaves, and she comes back, and Sabine's like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I cut my
I
hair.
don't
I
know.
dyed it. I got armor on. I painted some stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go find Ezra. I've been looking at his hologram.
Well, they do have to kind of give some backstory to who Sabine is and stuff,
Absolutely.
so why not do it that way? I'm down.
I'm curious to hear people who don't know anything about Rebels, and casual fans, their takeaway
Obviously.
from this trailer.
Mhm.
Not that you're probably a casual if you're watching this, but you know what I mean.
All right, let's keep trucking on. We've got more to go through here. Then Lucasfilm were discussing their film plans.
Oh
Bum, bum, bum.
boy, and do they have plans?
They began by kind of showcasing a timeline made up of several eras: Old Republic, High Republic, Fall of the Jedi, Reign of the Empire, Age of Rebellion, the New Republic, and Rise of the First Order. And then it was revealed that Dave Filoni is going to be directing a film serving as the culminating event for the shows tied to The Mandalorian. Woohoo!
Yeah, congrats to Dave Filoni.
They say shows, so I guess they mean Book of Boba Fett, Mando, Ahsoka, and possibly Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the culmination of all of that.
And whatever spin-offs coming from The Mandalorian this season.
You think there's a spinoff?
I still think there's a spin-off
Are we
coming.
gonna have like a Book of Boba Fett post credit after episode
There's
8?
going to be The Mandalorian, and then there'll be The Mandalorians. So they'll be... So you'll have two different shows to go to there.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Maybe one will be about Din Djarin.
Or one will be called The Way. How about that?
Oh no.
Next, it was revealed that James Mangold, he was the one who did Logan and Ford vs. Ferrari, will be directing a new film set in a new era, Dawn of the Jedi, the very distant past of the Star Wars universe. The product was described as a biblical epic and will explore the origins of the Jedi Order. He also revealed he will be writing an all-new set of characters. I was like,
Well-
okay, makes sense. I mean, Yoda's
Well-
old, but he ain't that old.
I was gonna say, like, who survives 25,000 years?
He's been working on the project for a couple months under the codename Star Wars Zero. And the film will explore the origins of the Force in the first Jedi.
The origins of the Force, huh?
Mhm.
We already saw that in Clone Wars, but hey, you do you.
Mangold also added that fans should not expect this to be a Star Wars film from the Stone Age, despite it being set so far in the past, 25,000 years before A New Hope.
Yeah, there's stuff going on.
There's been recent rumors also flowing around for James Mangold, and he did confirm them, and so did DC, that he is writing and directing a Swamp Thing film.
Yeah, another one of those. Let's
You-
hire him and he'll get around to our movie.
You love when Star Wars people are doing multiple projects at the same time.
Yeah, if I had to pick one of the three that will not happen, this one.
But he did Logan, so if he does this,
I'm not,
it'd be
no,
great.
I'm not saying I don't think it would be good if it happens. I'm saying if I had to pick one that won't happen, it would be this one. If I had to put money on one that absolutely will happen, it's the Filoni one. If I had to put one that's up in the air, it is the one you're about to talk about next.
All right, next, it was revealed that the Charmin Obade-Chinoy directed film will be in a new era, the New Jedi Order, and Daisy Ridley will return as Rey Skywalker in a story set 15 years after the Battle of Exegol.
I love how there's like 7 eras in like a 60-year time frame there. Maybe not 7, but you know what I mean. And then every other, like, there's 20,000 years before that gets, like, 3 airs.
Kathleen Kennedy did an interview with, like, IGN or something. I don't know.
One
Lots
of those
people doing interviews.
places, yeah.
She could barely contain her excitement talking about the return of Rey.
Me too.
She says it's huge. We're 15 years from the rise of Skywalker. So we're kind of post-war, post-First Order, and the Jedi are in disarray. There's a lot of discussion around who the Jedi are.
Huh, this sounds familiar. It's almost like you're describing the sequel trilogy.
What they're doing, what's the state of the galaxy, and she's attempting to rebuild the Jedi Order based on the books, based on what she promised Luke.
You know what they should have done?
So that's where we're going.
They should have made the sequel trilogy based on some books.
I don't know if we'll spend a lot of time in flashbacks or Force Ghosts or things like that, but certainly the spirit of what he represents to her is going to be significant.
What?
Luke's Force Ghost or something.
Like, she was on the island for like 3 days, and Luke's like, "Don't be a Jedi. I'm cranky, and they should end."
And then
he gives her a pep talk in the Rise of Skywalker for 5 minutes,
and
and
gives
suddenly
the blessing at the end. He and Leia both.
for 5 minutes. Can you imagine hanging out with someone for like 2 days and then seeing him 5 minutes a couple of years later or a year later, and like, oh, I need to honor this guy.
Other interesting things to note are the in development films coming from Taika Waititi and Sean Levy were not mentioned at all. Which kind of makes it sound like they haven't been fully greenlit yet by Lucasfilm or Disney.
She said the Kevin Feige film was never like an actual thing, even though it got like officially announced.
So they haven't officially announced those because maybe they're still up in the air.
Good. Taika Waititi's can remain in the air after Love and Thunder.
As for Rogue Squadron, Kennedy said Rogue Squadron is definitely something they still talk about. Whether it's a movie or it ends up being in the series space, that's definitely something. And they also did some Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny new trailer, which was disappointing to me because I hated the choice of music, and it just looks like old Harrison Ford. The only good thing about it was the CGI young Harrison Ford and my boy Mads Mikkelsen, who is timeless. He's the Sean Connery of the new age. He only gets better as he gets older.
I don't know about that.
I think he's also got a great accent. He is the new Sean Connery. That's what you sound like. You make it so hard for me to get through all of that talking.
I was intentionally trying to make this difficult.
Well,
because I knew you wanted to get through it quickly because there was so much.
Appreciate it.
I think they appreciate it.
It's actually pretty late right now, and I still got to edit this.
Yeah, I know. And I'll cheer you on. See, your turn. But no, I mean, to briefly summarize my take on day one, that was a lot.
Kapow!
That was a lot, and the Rey thing is obviously the elephant in the room, if you will.
We'll have to make a whole video talking about it, just the two of us, because I feel like
I put up a poll, so we can do a Let's Talk Some Star Wars together on the other channel again.
Well, I want to talk about stuff on my channel.
We can do that too.
Yeah.
I think some people will listen to both.
Well, that's because it'll probably be an aggressive negotiations for us.
Oh, I know, because you like Rey, and
I like Force Awakens Rey, and on what they tried to salvage out of the Rise of Skywalker Rey.
Yes,
the Last Jedi Rey was not somebody I recognize.
Well, I don't think anybody recognized that. But anyway, we can save that for another video. And so for now, that's all we got for you this time. So take to the comments below and tell us what you thought about day one of Star Wars Celebration. Do you like these announcements? Were you disappointed, or are you kind of shocked by some of them? Whatever the case may be, leave those comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars, and until next time, thanks for watching.